So yule mtu ambaye anaenda kotini ati anataka kuzuia ati tusijenga manyumba hawa vijana wapate ajira, ati tusifanye ile kazi yote ndio Kenya tubadilishe. Hawa ni watu ambao ni maadui wa taifa letu la Kenya, na mimi nataka niwahakikishie nyinyi mlimpatia uwezo hawa watu wote ambao wanataka kutuzuia, mimi nitapambana na wao. Mimi nahitaji tu maombi yenu, kwa sababu si mnajua nilipatiwa panga pale, nilipatiwa sword kubwa hivi. Wani mnafikiri hiyo sword ni ya kukata mboga? Si ni ya kufyeka wakora hawa? Ndawafyeka kabisa. Kenya itasonga mbele. Sijui kama tunaelewana watu wa Kisii.
He issued a death threat against me and other people who have gone to court and successfully challenged his basically nonsensical housing, so-called housing fund, housing levy fund, or housing levy tax, whatever it is.
And he says people are challenging the housing levy. He's going to use the sword he was given to slash them down, which means he's going to use the military forces to bring to do it, to kill people. And anybody saying he's going to kill people, that is not for cutting vegetables, it's for cutting people like us. And he calls that crooks. I'm not a crook. If anything, I have a cleaner record than he has in terms of public affairs. So he cannot call me a crook.
So he made remarks whereby he directly isolated the people who had taken that case to court, and said that he was given a sword, the ceremonial sword was given at Kasarani, and that he was going to use that sword not to chop vegetables. He was not given that sword for chopping vegetables, but for dealing with crooks like myself and others who had gone to the High Court and successfully challenged this housing, so-called housing levy fund. Those remarks had two issues that got me concerned. The first issue was that the president was threatening violence against that group, and the kind of violence that exterminates. He was threatening to kill people by saying he's going to slash them. And another thing, the second thing is that he deliberately dehumanized the people who went to court by calling them crooks. On Sunday, I went to Langata police station, making an attempt to report this matter, to get an OB. I was kept there for more than 6 hours, being taken around. Eventually, one of the junior officers came and said, "My brother, the discussion I've picked is that they are not going to record your statement. And what I would advise you to do is to go to the crime scene where the crime was committed. That's in Kisii. Go to Kisii in Mosocho and make a report in Mosocho. I'm sure those policemen will not be able to refuse." Second thing, he comes in and tells me, "Do you know that I cannot accuse the president of anything?" I said, "Where do you get that?" He says it's in the law. I asked him which section of the law. He didn't even know. So I told him, the only thing you can do is look at Article 143. He sort of became angry and began shouting at me and saying, "I'm not going to record your statement. You can go anywhere you want, but we are not recording your statement. And so stop wasting your time here." Well, at that point, I saw that there was no point dealing with somebody who thinks he can operate outside the law. So I decided to say, okay, I will pack and go.
What I know is that the president is protected from prosecution in court. He's not protected from being investigated for criminal utterances, a record that can be used against him after he leaves office. So that's all I'm looking for, to be able to record this issue and to be able to deal with the president according to the law, the way it is. He cannot call me a mkora. He cannot say he's going to slash me down and others down. That's a death threat. He doesn't have that power. That's the power. He's not immune from the law. Yeah, President was threatening me for going to court. We go to court, we challenge some of his policies successfully, and now he's angry. And he doesn't want people to go to court. What does he want people to do? To go to the bush? We're not going to go to the bush, we're going to go to the court. He says he cannot be stopped. The only way he cannot be stopped is if he operates within the law. If he operates outside the law, he'll be stopped. Well, we are challenging his Finance Act. And among the issues that were in the Finance Act was the issue of the housing levy.
Yo, what's up everybody? This is Elijah Gishoro. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in case you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. Tap that subscribe button, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me. It's because of you that I get to do these videos, and without your support, clearly I could not be doing these videos. Now, the president of the Republic of Kenya was in Kisii the other weekend, and he gave out a very strict warning to people frustrating government efforts on development. And yesterday we saw Busia Senator come out and say that these talks, all these warnings or threats by the president was targeted or were targeted towards him, and he feels that his life is in danger because of the utterances of His Excellency the President. So the president said that he was given a sword. You see, during the inauguration of the president, there is this ceremonial sword that is normally handed over as a sign of power from the former president to the incoming president, or the retired president, in this case Uhuru Kenyatta, to the incoming president, who was William Ruto. So that ceremonial sword, it symbolizes power, you know. The president is now saying that he was not given that sword to chop vegetables. He was given that sword to deal with cartel. So the reason why the president was saying this is because there are people he feels normally frustrate government efforts. Anytime the president wants to go and do something, wants to go and implement something, a new program, housing. In fact, the bone of contention here is the housing program, the housing levy to be particular. And that is what the president feels like. These people will just usually frustrate everything the government tries to do, whether it's good, whether it's not good, you know, whether it benefits all Kenyans. And guys, if I take you back to the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta, President Uhuru Kenyatta had the same sentiments that William Ruto has right now. And it is this same Okiya Omtatah who used to challenge everything from SGR, Eurobond, what? All those things. Okiya Omtatah used to go to court, you know, get an injunction, and a whole government project will stall. In fact, that is where the beef between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Chief Justice David Maraga began, because the courts will issue so many injunctions that it literally became impossible for the government to operate. They have a dam they want to build. Somebody takes the government to court. Oh, you have not done public participation. Oh, you did not consider this law. Oh, you did not consider this law. And the court issues an injunction, and nothing can go on. A road, whatever, hospitals, you know, SGR, all those projects, people move to court to do, to seek injunctions. And in this case of the housing levy, remember, Okiya Omtatah has already won round 1 of the case against the housing levy, that it is unconstitutional. That's what the court ruled. Even though the court allowed the government to, it gave stay orders for the government to continue collecting, but it had already ruled that it is unconstitutional. And remember, sometime back during the finance bill, Okiya Omtatah and William Ruto met at a function in Bungoma. And Okiya Omtatah said William Ruto is his friend and they will work together. However, he must respect the constitution. And Okiya Omtatah said, in any case, or if he does mutilate the constitution in any way, he will move to court to seek redress. And that's what he has been doing. And that time, in fact, the president was jokingly talking to Okiya Omtatah and was telling him that he should not go to court. And that time it was at the height of protests. And so you're saying it's even better for Okiya Omtatah who goes to courts and stops a project rather than these people go to the streets and stone people's businesses. And this has been the role of Okiya Omtatah in this country. He's like the public litigator for anything, mega government projects, big things have really been brought back to the drawing board courtesy of Okiya Omtatah. And if you're watching this video and you're enjoying this content, kindly consider subscribing and liking, give this video a thumbs up, share this video with your friends and family, and drop a positive comment. So Okiya Omtatah has narrated painfully how he even tried to obtain a statement from the police station here in Langata. I guess he lives around this area, Langata, Karen, and those other areas. And he could not get a statement. He could not get a statement. The police told him, go and record that statement from where the incident happened. So he went and recorded the statement, I guess, in Mosocho police station. That's where he got some attention. But even the police officer there refused to even record the to take his statement. Finally, he got the statement, but the police there had refused. And Okiya Omtatah told him, you cannot operate outside the law. And he actually threatened to sue him for disregarding his right to record a statement. So yeah, that is what has been happening, guys. Do you think the president is threatening Okiya Omtatah? Remember, there's this video Okiya Omtatah, it was being hosted by Jeff Koinange, and he said that if the president was given 2 instruments of power, I think there were a number, not just 2. The constitution was one of them, and the sword. And the president lifted the sword but kept away the constitution. So Okiya Omtatah was saying, I hope that is not symbolic. And in fact, he said, Okiya Omtatah says he should have lifted the constitution and kept away the sword, just to show that he will abide by the rule of law. Guys, I don't think... the other day, William Ruto was being interviewed, the president, and he said to cartels and people frustrating his government that he told them in the eye, you guys must stop this. Yes, this. I'm not going to mention it. Maybe I'll touch that video, but that has been the state of affairs. Do you think, guys, the president is threatening Okiya Omtatah as a person, or even the other cartels, or is just being truthful in what he will happen? Because he said in that video angrily that nitawafyeka. What does that mean? What does that mean, guys? What do you think that means? Nitawafyeka. What does that mean? What will he do? How will he handle them? We can only leave it to time to see. So the Okiya Omtatah has recorded a statement. Remember, the president had an issue with his statement that all the cartels in the country, you either you either go to jail, you either change, or you do what? You go to heaven. So guys, I don't know what going to heaven meant, and people understood that as assassinations or being executed or things like those ones. Yeah, that's what people are interpreting those statements to mean. I want you to leave it to your imagination. What do you think? And do you think Okiya Omtatah is a public nuisance, or somebody who is doing this for the public good? You know, sometimes the president argues a program like housing levy is just 1.5%, whereby you're removing this money, or you're being deducted this money to help millions of unemployed youth who are getting employed in these housing projects. They're getting money at the end of the day, and the government is doing that to alleviate the problem of unemployment in Kenya, and also give Kenyans a decent home, according to what he's saying, decent houses, and bring dignity to people who are living in slums and informal settlements. But now the question is, guys, do you think that Okiya Omtatah is frustrating a quote-unquote positive action of the government to create employment? Do you think he's just being a nuisance, or he's helping keep the government in check? Because anyway, ultimately, at the end of the day, the constitution is the anchor for everything. But you see, there is something called the public good, you know. Some things might not be in the constitution, you know, but they are there, or people do them for the public interest, for the public good. You get, sometimes people may bend laws for public good. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. What am I even saying? You get it. So do you think that something might be unconstitutional, but it benefits Kenyans? You know, it's not, what can I say? It's not doing anybody any harm anyway. Yeah, just give me your comments. Just type. I like reading your thoughts also. They really inform the videos I should do and what I should change and all that. Thank you so much, guys. This has been your guy Lejegeshoro. See you in my next one. Remember to like, comment, share, and drop a positive comment. In the meantime, adios, and see you in my next video.